Hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream, to the channel, and everything on this side of the void. My name is the Darken King. As always, I will be your host on this endeavor as we continue our journey as the Ashen One within Dark Souls 3, but weapons changing after every boss. We just fought against the Dancer, and we're moving on to probably the garden, probably to the Unattended Graves, the castle, and probably hopefully we'll be going up against everything in Archdragon Peak. That is the plan today. Whether or not that happens is up in the air, but if everything goes well, which I'm hoping it does, we'll be prepping ourselves for the DLC on the next run. So this is what happens today, shall we? Enough gab, let's get to the game. I hope you guys have been enjoying the gameplay thus far and are excited to see where this rest of this goes. I am currently enjoying replaying Dark Souls 3. It's been a while since I had actually completed this far. Or rather, how do I phrase it? Played the game the way this is, so I'm hoping it continues the way it's been. And we can get some good rolls. I believe last time we got ourselves... Yeah, we got the Scythe. We were dealing with Reapers. So let's continue our pace and move on to the gardens. Some King's Garden, as it were. Going this way. Yeah, we'll be getting to you later, Osiris. Problem is we can't get behind your darn tower shield. There we go. Almost there. There we go. Done now. Nice. Alright. We'll do a quick drop down here. Nice. Well, we'll keep Havel's Ring on. If anything, we swap to a different weapon later on. We need to make use of heavier loads. Actually, wait, I should pick up the claws while I'm here. I believe it's this one. Nice. Ow. Oh, I should get out if I can. I can get away from these guys. Got chunks. I should get rid of toxic. There we go. Come back this way in a second. I believe there's stuff here. Please don't. Ooh. Alright. Go through here. We'll at least get the shortcut, and we can cut back over. Might as well also look through the inventory and pick up a few other rings that we can make use of. Given the fact that we don't really need to use Havel's Ring for the lighter weapons. So we might as well at least pick something else. We have more options at our disposal. There's another one, wasn't there? Oh, he's down there. Okay. We'll let him lie until we get him up here. So how are you not dead? Don't you dare! Thank you. might as well also go back and upgrade that now that we have some chunks on our hands. Also, once we do everything on Archdragon Peak, we'll be able to go back and buy those from the shop. Real quick. He's... I should also invest in some bleed moss for later. Which I think now that I have everything, I should be able to buy those from the merchant. I'm to find out. Let's see. And I'm also here as well. Let me go ahead and give this. Reinforce here. Nice. Oh, I also have a slab. Right, because we completed a secrets quest. So we have a good handful of those slabs. Oh, don't. No, we get the bleed moss from Great Rat.
Oh, and
yeah, we'll get a good handful of these. I'll just get 10.
goodbye.
We don't need a ton. I think it's mostly for when we get anything involving leeches. Because those just, the build-up and the bleed effects are very aggressive. Oh, max out 10 of these.
Ashen One.
We shouldn't need more than that, but again, it could easily go south very quickly. Alright, let's put this back. These away. I bet we can start using +10 variant weapons. Again, the grinding is heavily reduced with this run, purely for the fact that I'm using changing weapons, and the only difficulty is having to modify the weapon of choice, rather than me having to go back and swap out every my brain is having a moment, apparently. I just blue screen there. The grinding is reduced because we're changing weapons every boss. The problem is we have to modify what our levels are, but having to do that every, 5 seconds of, like, are we picking up and, alright, let's make sure we have enough, which again, I could, but I want to do it all in one go. So that's more the reason why I have the mod in place, so I can just pick a new weapon, level up accordingly, and then go. Versus if I was going to do this again without the mod, I would just pick a strength weapon and run through the game. If you guys do want me to do this again, but just pick a weapon and go, I will replay it and just do it again. I'll probably pick a strength build, pick like a Greatsword or a hammer. Because I think with Dark Souls 1, I'd probably pick the Great Club, or if I can get lucky, the Demon's Great Axe would be my choice. Dark Souls 2, I'd probably pick, if I can get the build early enough, either a single or dual wield of the Greatswords. Because you can get at least one relatively early in the game. But if you want to get really aggressive, and you can get a... what is it? It's a Fragrant Root. Where you can free our Pyromancer friend before the forest. And then you can buy the Great Swords from our merchant when we get the gold pipe risen. See, can I put this on? Yes. Yeah, okay. Dark Souls 3, this one. I would take either the Great Sword, the Fume Ultra Great Sword, or the Great Club. Again, I do main... If I really want to make a playthrough relatively simple for myself, I would probably do a strength build. And then with Elden Ring... I got a couple ideas I would pick. So I could do a single Greatsword with Lion's Claw for the head. Again, it's just relatively easy build to do for that one. Can I take a minute? Sir, I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to converse with the people. Really, multitasking is difficult for some. Thank you. Just saying. I would do actually one of two builds. I would do a strength build with the Great Sword, or I could do the dual wield Great Stars and do a combination of bleed and frostbite and that as well. Or if I was going to do a dex-based build, I would do the dual Reach Katana bleed build Purist. Combine like seppuku when you get in the frost area, or take the blood slice. Or bloody slash, I think it is. Now, with Bloodborne, I would do a heavy skill build, so that would either be the Saw Spear, or if I wanted to go into the DLC, I'd get... It's... I don't remember the name, but it's the, well, let's fight him and I'll explain later. It's like the Saw Spear, but it's the curved blade that flips around. I don't remember what it's called. I'm sure someone will probably make a note of that.
You ignorant slaves. Finally taken notice, have you? Of the power of my beloved Ocelot, child of dragons. Well, I will not give him up, for he is all that I have. Where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out. Come out. Don't be afraid. You were born a child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? Now, show yourself, Ocelot. My dear. Awesome.
That is painful, is what that is. I missed. Fine. There we go. Nice. Lovely. Alright, well that went well. Okay. Let's see. What will the Wheel of Fate give us today? Guess we're sticking with the Reapers then. Alright then. I don't think I can get a different one. Not that I can think of, at least. Because I don't think any of the other boss souls that we've gotten up to this point have an option for a Reaper. Again, we don't have Freed Soul. I would pick that as a weapon if I could. No, it's all club, sword. Ooh, I could get the Dancer's Sword for that. I could also get the Moonlight Greatsword if I get the Greatsword as a weapon choice. That is an idea for later.
Now she knoweth her.
Let me just continue, and we'll go to the next area. We'll hold on to that for now. Also, can I get magic resin? I don't know if I can. Probably not from here. Should also pick up some of these sorceries, because I don't even know if I have any of them. Oh yeah, the Xanthus outfit. Don't know if that's... Or do I commit to the Undead Legion armor? Both are nice. But I think I want to wait until I get to
Ashen One.
further into the Unattended Graves, because there's an armor set in there that I want to pick up. And those of you that have played will know exactly what I'm referring to. But I won't say anything until we get there. And we get to meet our new dragon-esque friends. They also drop chunks, which is great. Path of the Dragon, we have that, which is great. I could also do runs of these games where I play pure magic and just pick up a melee weapon. Do like only sorcery, miracles, and flames just to change the pace of things. I've done those before, and those are fun. Having just like a constant rotation of magic. I think this is the reason why I like playing with the mods that I do for these games, because it allows me for opportunities just to combine and just test out some weaponry. I think that's like the main reason why I play, because I'll always play for the first time I play the game without mods, just because I want to experience it vanilla for the first time, and then decide whether I want to replay it again, or I want to play with mods, or I'll just play it once for the effect, and it's like, alright, I'm not playing again. And again, it's also the same case of, you're never gonna get another first playthrough of the game. At least not like that anyways, so playing it vanilla, playing it with no additives, just the way it was meant to be right out of the box, is the point, in my opinion, to enjoy it the first time, and then after you've played it, a handful of times, it's like, I want to spice it up. It's like, you play with mods, you play with mod packs, and you play with new environments, and you try different builds of different weapons, and see what all it does. And I think that's really the one thing I love about these games, is that you can play how you want and still enjoy it. I hit one of them, please. Jeez. So many dogs. Alright. Okay, mental notes. Take either one of them on at a time, or see if you can get a sweep attack and get all of them. Alright. That'll probably get turned into a clip. Take one. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, there's two over here. Then there's the two over here. Well, I guess there's three. No, I think I'm gonna try. Can I kite one of these guys out? Is the question. Because there's not one, but two of them this time. The problem is, can I get one of them to approach me? And just the one. Right. That made a bit of a mistake. Staggered. Yep. Okay. Right. Now about the second one. Oh, no, no. Okay. Now we'll move on. Beast Hunter Saeed, that's what it is. That's the backhand blade in Bloodborne that I would pick because I think it gets either an A or even an S scaling with skill with the right gems. The only reason I probably wouldn't pick that over the Saw Spear because it doesn't have serrated, so it does less against beasts. That being said, if you can get Beast Hunter Saeed and the Saw Spear, in my opinion, you have one for the Beast Kin and you have one for the more humanoid boss fights. But that's just my opinion on the weapons. I'm sure they're... I mean, you can do a number of different ways. I think I attempted once, and I've only done this one time, when I had to power level my character, so I had to make use of a farming spot early on. But I went and got the Holy Moonlight Sword from Ludwig before defeating any of the main bosses. Well, let me rephrase. I basically had to fight at least Father Gascoigne and Vicar Amelia. But then from there, I went into the DLC, and I had to try for quite a while to fight Ludwig with like a +3 weapon. And boy, was it frustrating. Even with like clear stats and large amount. Again, +3 weapon against Ludwig. Poor idea. But I wanted to try it. And it was pretty fun. think it was also the same instance when I figured out I could do a really good strength build and take the Whirligig Saw through everything. And that's also one weapon I love as well. If I'm going to do a strength build for Bloodborne, would be get the Whirligig Saw from the DLC and then just go run through everybody. You'll have to invest far more into your stamina wheel. Your stamina output. You're gonna use this. Ow! It's the fast pace. It's definitely gonna be more aggressive. Yeah, the combinations he can throw are being so much more aggressive and real fast. Use the okay. Painful, bad. I'm fine. I'm fine. I probably made the weirdest face when I panicked, still. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Alright. Let's spin again. Oh man. Well. Do I do that? Well, I did get the Thorned Whip a while ago, so I can make use of the whip. The problem is, I don't want to fight the Twin Princes, so I think I'm gonna go and push for the Ancient Dragon. Only because it is relatively easy to get that fight. It's the aspect of getting there, or the Notched Whip. Increase the serration. I don't know if I could do a plunging attack. That's the better question. Can I do a plunging attack with that weapon? Stab, special absorption. Nope. Let's ring back. I feel like I should, but we'll figure that out in a second. I'm gonna hold off on. Well, no, I should still go back and upgrade the whip. Well, I guess we'll find out as well if I can even. Pick that out. Let's see.
It wasn't it?
What's up? What will be the best here? Push it sharp. Push it quality. Add a bleed. Scaling stays. Let me push higher scaling.
Scaling like that.
Well, very well. Then take.
Let's add Dex. Let's go to 35. Nice.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the
Let's also make a tester of this. Well, I need to figure out if I can even do a plunge. No, I can't. So I'll have to pick a different weapon. Or I'll have to pick a weapon when I get there for the plunge. So I may just pull the scythe out when I have to get up there. So I will carry the weapon up to the dragon. So I think I can still do a plunge here. Yep, okay. This is going to be interesting. I don't think I've fought against a lot of the dragon-esque creatures on Archdragon Peak with the whip. I don't think I've played with the whip very often anyways, so this will be very interesting when we get to that point of how well the whip even stands. Want me to find out then? Make sure I can get there. There's here. Oh, it's across the way. Oh boy. I'm fine. Doors open now, so I can go through here. Nice. Alright, we will put this back. While we're waiting for that, we will take the Path of the Dragon. This is gonna go very poorly. I'm gonna make that a promise. I could also be really relatively surprised, and this could take, you know... I didn't pick up the armor. Well, I'll get that when I get to the next bonfire. Because I was gonna go back and get a whole boatload of things before even going here, but we'll play this out. We're here. How well is this gonna go? Is the question. Can I even backstab with the whip? I feel like I should be able to. But you know, only one way to find out. I don't think I've ever gone to this point with the whips. Certainly got the reach for it. I'll make that. Nope, no backstabs. No backstabs, no plunges. I can see why people don't play with the whips, like, ever. At least not without good reason, I think. So we'll have to probably kite a few of these guys. Let's not get swarmed. Because there's quite a few to deal with. want to deal with one of them at a time if I can. Or if anything, deal with the dual wielder in front. Okay. Good reach and good stagger, which is nice. So that does help in the long term. This is probably why I want to do the dragon with this weapon, because I do not want to attempt to fight the Nameless King or the Twin Princes with a weapon. Well, one thing at least, this is better than doing with the basic whip. At the very beginning when I was having to use it. The lead up to the Crystal Sage, I think, was probably a little more frustrating. Alright, take a spot. Alright, let me go back to the Graves, the Champion. Because there is an armor set, and I also want to get the stuff required for the secret ending for this playthrough. Oh yeah, we also have the Black Knights at Pier. So, excuse me, sir. And you too, good sir. Thank you. Nice. Quotes from fragments. Put that there. Then I can do this. Go through here. Grab the Firekeeper eyes. Blacksmith hammer.
Well, fancy that. A lost lamb wandereth in, with nary a peep from the bell. Well, thou shouldst my purpose know. What can this old handmaid provide thee?
I think I'm gonna embrace the Wolf Knight armor. The Ball Knight armor is great, but I don't think I can beat out Artorias' set.
Best?
I believe it's actually stronger than... Or is it just faster? Yeah, I like the Wolf Knight armor as well. Nice. Okay. Let's go back to... I believe this takes us back to Archdragon Peak. If I did this right. No, okay. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Whoops, there. Put that away. Let's go back to Archdragon Peak. Let's prep ourselves for... what could be probably a hard trip on the way up. Or we could just take the whip and... stay put over there, guys. Just don't mind me. Excuse me, sir. Ah. Yeah, I might just run. Which is gonna maybe a waste of the weapon, but the weapon I have is what these guys are. The weapon does not work very well. Banging around you, sir. There we go. Now the question is, with the weapon I'm going to be getting next, do I fight Nameless King and everything leading up to him, or do I fight everything leading up to the Twin Prince? Well, I still have the Dragonslayer armor to deal with too. So there is that problem. Well, I guess we'll see. So let's find out what the roll gives me. Right. Okay, the Ultra Greatsword it is. I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and do the Nameless King now. I could take the heavy. I could take this. I could take that or those. Let me go back to. Again, I know that was a bit of a cheap move, going using the whip and then having to use the sight of the floating attack, but if you guys really do want me to play more with the whip, then I need to know. You guys gotta say something. Either now or later on.
We did, man. Me, of what the thin see this.
Oh, talking about the Firekeeper eyes. Look at the Profane Sword. I do like the Profane Sword. Can we get the Profane Sword?
Now, she.
But again, like I said beforehand, there are 1,000 ways you can play these games. And however you want to play them is your choice. I will not judge you for the choices you, or how you choose to play the game, rather. Everyone is entitled to their own way to play.
What?
So, let's push up to... Nice. Let me go ahead and push probably Vitality up to 35, and we'll get Strength 2.
Welcome. Very well, then hey.
Let's see where we get with Strength first. Strength could get to... And we'll leave that there. We'll hold on to the rest of that.
Farewell, Ashen One, may the
But first, before we run off...
welcome. Ashen One, are these these eyes? How gracious of thee, Ashen One. The very things we firekeepers have been missing. Farewell, Ashen One. Mayst thou thy peace discover.
Yeah, I like get the profaned flame on the weapon. Nice. Alright, still have enough stamina, or still have enough vitality that I can fast roll with it. Alright, let's go fight the Nameless King. Let's see how this goes. We can't infuse the weapon, so we'll take it out. Okay. I'll deal with you in a second. I need to drop the summoner back here first. Doesn't drop him. Not be in a corner. Thank you. Thank you. Drake Blood Greatsword. Oh, it has the lightning infusion on it. Oh, it's magic and lightning. Ooh. I think I'd rather use the Drake Blood Greatsword. Well, if we use a Greatsword, well, again, there are a lot of Greatsword choice. There's, again, I repeat myself so much. There are so many weapons in these games that you can do a lot of runs, a lot of playthroughs with. So, but if you have a set weapon or a set build you like to do, then play that way. I start changing it up for the fun of it. Yep. Backstab. There is, I think, one guy. Him. Yep. Is there also... Yep, there's also this guy on this corner. Nice. Ouch. Poke. Stab. Scales, great. Okay, we're doing well on time. We actually might be able to get all the way for all this, all the prep work done before we get the DLC. You know, the problem is if we get stuck with the Nameless King, Dragonslayer armor, or the fight with the Twin Princes. Those are really the big three if we have to finish before we get the DLC. Because we could go now. I want to save those for after we do at least majority of the main game. Now I said the finale, for the final fight, until after we've beaten everything in the DLC. Well, I'm also in a bit of a lull spot between areas. I want to know your guys' opinion on, of the 3 Dark Souls games, between the Artorias of the Abyss DLC, the 3 DLCs for Dark Souls 2, or the three DLC areas between all the Dark Souls 3, between the area with Freed. Basically, I want to know your guys' opinion. Which Dark Souls 3 is not the best? I guess the best is... Okay. Let me say this simply. Of the Dark Souls games, which DLC do you like the most, and why? I'll leave it at that. Because they all have their good points. But which one do you like, and why? Is it a memory, boss, or both? And I think as well, I will also open it up with mine as well. Just because that's my 2 cents. I think I enjoy the most fervently between 3 and 1. I think, because, and this is going to sound very strong, but very interesting. I only finished Dark Souls 3 the first time. The first time I played, I gave up on Dark Souls 1 when I got to Orlando. I don't know if I mentioned that the first game, when I first played Dark Souls 1, before I did the Dark Souls 1 part of the series. I never finished past at Orlando when I first played it. And then I never played Dark Souls 2 until after I got PC. So I've only ever finished Dark Souls 3 on console before I went back and played Dark Souls 1 and actually beat the game. And then because I wanted to complete the series, I went and got Dark Souls 2 on PC as well. And I think after playing all 3 of them, I think I still stand by my phrasing of Dark Souls 3, I think, has, in my opinion, some of the best DLC, if not the best DLC. And then when I got Elden Ring, I sunk so many hours into the game that I ended up 100%ing the game because I loved it so much. And then when the DLC came out, it blew my expectations completely out of the water. There were flashbacks to all 3 of the Dark Souls games, between the bosses, the arenas, and the spectacles of it all. It was so cool. So, and I also can't wait to play those again as well. Completely do all the, at least all the remembrance bosses of the Elden Ring, including the DLC. I will do this all the way to the DLC as well. And then I'll probably also do a Greatsword run, just because I do have a PS4 and I do have Bloodborne available to me, but I just don't have a way to feasibly, or at least easily, do a playthrough of it. And even then, I probably wouldn't do the challenge of this with Bloodborne. It's just a little too stretched out. It's difficult to play several weapons versus just picking one. But I think with the Greatsworn mod, with Elden Ring, I can do that a little more feasibly and play with all the weapons that are available. And specifically all of the Bloodborne-based weapons. So I can play with the Rider Palash, the Saw Cleaver, Saw Spear, Whirligig Saw, what else there? The Beast Saive. I forget if you can play with Gehrman's Scythe. I forget that's an option or not. If it doesn't have to play with, I'll use that one. Again, there's a lot of ways you can play each of these games. I think that's the reason why I can't stop myself from playing them so much. They're just so much fun. And then, of course, gosh, they are still difficult games. Even with the mods, they can still be overwhelming at times. I even gave up on Sekiro's a whole different wheelhouse. Sekiro's probably one of the, if not the most aggressive playstyle games of the FromSoft franchise. At least in my opinion. Because if you don't nail the parry counter system they have with that, you're gonna have a very difficult experience with the game. That is just to a T, I think. But that is my opinion, and I'm sure I have different opinions on it. I was included that game all the way through. We went along to the ending, beating all the main bosses for the memory fragments. Alright, well, that rambling aside, with all that taken care of, let's have a showdown on the clouds. See how this goes. It's gonna take one attempt, it's gonna take several, 100, who knows. But, here we go. Come on. There we go. This is the true fight. Now it's time to get serious. Ow. I should not have done that. Oh. Just stood there. Slow. Probably kill myself. Nope. go there. The delay. Wait for it. Where's this? Yep. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those fights. All right, let's go again. Camera's always your worst enemy here. There it is. Nope, there. Alright. Right. Camera. Instance I can do this. There we go. Rolls. I think I'm still too overweight. I'm still getting the slow rolling. Me also, let me see. I think this might be one of the probably one of the, if not, at least of the main game. I definitely think he's one of the more difficult boss fights to go up against. At least for the secret ones. Let me go back to what I was using before. Still like the Fallen Knight armor, which I think I'm gonna go back to it. More strike, more lightning resistance. I might be taking too much with the Wolf Knight. The Wolf Knight is great with Artorias' set, but I think I'm gonna go back to what I consider my favorite setup. Still slow rolling, but able to do a little bit less damage from lightning now. I think if I also go ahead and find the... I don't think we get the lightning absorption until later. Alright, we go again. There we go. Nice. Okay. These. That was too early. it slow. Oh, there's a stagger. Instance to and some flames. Charge strike. There's the roll. Heal. Ouch. Cool. Nope. Yeah, that was bad. Forget he does that flying spear. There we go. Okay. That was definitely better. Definitely better. But yeah, that if you get stuck in a feedback loop and you get greedy, it can easily go south very quickly. As well as I think having I did also have quite a bit more health than probably is normal for this encounter, so that definitely helped. Blinding. Alright, what was it? 3 attempts, I think? Nice. Alright, so to the Dragonslayer. What is the weapon of choice? We're pulling miracles. Okay. Well, good thing oh, I'm gonna have to invest a lot of faith then. Because lightning stake, lightning spear. Ooh, I'm gonna have to invest a lot more in faith. I think the Saint's Talisman has... yeah, it's got a stronger spell buff. Increased faith. Increased miracles. Why take this and that one off? Alright, let's, well, before we run off. Oh, the Dragonslayer is gonna be resistant to lightning. We'll have to use, probably I think there's a gnaw that we can use, like an insect plague. We might have to use that. We will figure it out. But let's head back to the Shrine Bonfire. I don't think I've done a pure miracle run. Only because I think a lot of the enemies coming up are resilient to lightning. So let's see if we can buy a handful of these spells.
Oh, did you wish to hear?
Yeah, we can do gnaw. So make use of that. We'll do probably a medium heal, replenishment. We could do the Tears of Denial as well. And probably one of these buffs is at the same time. It's not bad. It's nice.
Have a pleasant.
I think we need to do some investment in faith, because I don't think we have nearly enough to do any of these spells. Let alone, we're also going to need to invest in attunement slots. So we might have to pull out some of the soul items just to get what we need.
Very well then taken.
But we will see. 3 attunement slots and 20 faith.
Farewell.
Where
Ashen
does this
One.
get us with spells? I think that's the main question, because we could probably make use of a good handful of these. Alright, we can get Gnaw, which is nice. And we can make use of Lightning Spear. Lightning Stake is a bit stronger. Alright, let's do these. Let's see where this gets us for now. And if I need to come back and use more, I will readjust. Let's add miracles, and we'll increase faith. Well, yeah, let me put that back on, actually. I think I don't worry about the reduction, because I have the stamina shield, so I don't think I worry about that too much. But I will need to buff this significantly. We'll need to swap and put the Ashen Flask on. Let's give myself 10 and 4.
Pretty be careful.
Nice. Okay. So let's see what happens. Put this out. I don't think I've used Gnaw on a lot of things, so this will be interesting. Go to the Dancer. Alright, we'll play this out correctly. Either we'll get to the Dragonslayer armor today, and that'll be our starting block, or we will get to or we'll fight against the Twin Princes, and that'll be our ending spot. We'll play this out, see what happens. That's gonna be difficult for these guys. Yeah. This will be an interesting part of the run. Well, here, let me actually go up and get the bonfire. Let me go back and see if I can pick up some miracles from some of the boss souls, because there are quite a few boss souls that can give some pretty powerful miracles. I know we don't get Sunlight Spear until we beat the game. Maybe we can get something from the deacons, if I'm remembering this correctly. We can also get some darker tome spells, or darker miracle spells from Clara.
Yes.
Oh, these are all sorceries and pyromancy. Okay.
Do
Lightning Storm. Life on Scythe. I mean, are we gonna use the bow? No, probably not. I think we'll get more use out of the Scythe. Sorcery. And the spear is good for this, but I do like... I don't know.
I took oh,
I could also play myself to the Warrior Sunlight and get that as well. Get that out. I think I have any Sunlight medals on me. No, but I know I can get some. I may be doing a lot of running, which is normal for me, especially with the, you know, lackluster setup. Chunks. Damage output. So that's the reason why I haven't reused any of the boss souls that involve sorceries yet, because I don't know if I'm gonna get that kind of roll with the weapon mode out. Midnight Helm. Six Bloom Shield. Back. No. Okay. Pretty sure, yeah, there's a red knight here. Also, you want to get the weapon he's got already in the Great Lance. Let that crystal lizard live. this way. Moving. Thank you, good day. Excuse me. Ah. Got knocked over the platform. Not helping. Sunlight metals. Great. I think if I want to get in there. You are still following me. Oh, you are persistent, man. Don't. Yeah, I want to go up this way. Because I need to get across. And then I need to go here. Ow. Excuse me, thank you. And then I go down. Yes, okay. The Knight's Ring. Is all I'm doing. Scales. Altar of Sunlight. Sacred Oath. I think I need more if I'm gonna get the great lightning spear. Fortunately. Is persistent. Give him that. I went the long way around. He's still trying to come after me. This could go really good or really bad. rate we're going. I don't know. But I can be hopeful. Extinct Oath is just a buff for so damage absorption. Okay. I think I reset my my flasks. Now I've gotten the shortcut. Oh yeah, I rested. So they're back up and walking around again. Okay, the music is on, it's just very quiet. But again, that's also probably because I answered my own question. I think I'll do the replenishment. Wait, no, I want this. Well, no, that'll be a good buff for fight. Could also test, because the Dragonslayer armor is going to be resistant to lightning. I'm almost positive that's going to be the case. I also don't even know if 4 flasks is going to be enough. How long this fight could last. Yeah, depending on how long this goes, this might be the ending point of the stream, so we'll see. But we've gotten some pretty good rolls before. But we'll see what happens. I think that's my phrase. We'll see what happens. I said they had probably... sometimes probably too much, I think one would say. Let me start with the Sun Lightning Spear and see where that gets me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is lightning. We might be here a while. Okay. Alright. May have backed myself into a corner. Like I said in previous parts, if I start getting really... if I really start struggling with this point, I will invest in a different weapon. Or in this case, probably a different setup, but we'll see. Again, that was also only the first attempt. I can at least get the... Dead Bone Shard. Alright, so with that shield up, he's not gonna punch for anything. I may have to just wait for the window to open, specifically. When I can get a shot in. things up. Sir. Just gonna get in the elevator and be on my way. Alright, let's try this again. Having a better estimate of what we're up against. Yeah, lightning is not going to work. There's no question about that. I really do not think I have the capabilities to fight this guy with just what I have. I think it has to be physical, but I don't even think it's gonna scratch him. The lightning spear was doing something, but this has been looking negated. Because it quite won't bleed, and it's lightning immune, so I think I might have to re-roll with this stance. I think I have to reroll. There's no way I can fight this guy with faith-based stuff. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I don't do this very often, but because I think we are basically hard countered with the weapon that we have against. Well, then again... No, I want to save the DLC for later. I'm gonna do one reroll. Just because I don't think we can fight the Dragonslayer armor with Sacred Chimes. Okay. Only against him am I gonna fight with the Greatsword. But I am gonna pick a different one that I've been using. So Claymore, Drake Sword, Storm Ruler, Ultra Great Sword, Let me go back and pick a different one. Again, I know that's probably not what you guys are expecting. You wanted me to fight him against... Fight against him. Me to fight against him with that. With those weapons specifically, but I just don't think it's going to be feasibly possible. If it is, I'll need to look into that, because what I have is not going to be anywhere close to having a chance to fight him. At least not with at least not with miracle-based things. Sorcery, maybe, and I think I could get away with probably doing either pyromancy or black flame variants. I'm probably gonna need some money, given that all my souls are stacked. Just take it all. Not a lot, but it's something. Let me pick a different greatsword.
Ah,
I could get the Moonlight Greatsword, Hollow Slayer. So why hasn't even gotten hammers yet?
I took all the more.
Let me make use of the Drake Blood. I know it's gonna be lightning. He's gonna be lightning resistant or lightning immune, but it does do magic, and that will be nice to have. Are we even gonna be able to have enough to upgrade it? We need more.
Ah, great letter.
Chasers.
Ashen One.
The upgrades.
It wasn't it?
Goes back. Reinforce. I don't think I can infuse. I can infuse this weapon. Because it just increases the physical prowess. Increases scaling on the lightning. Increases scaling on the magic. Could add fire. Could add poison. Let me just increase the to a refined and make it a quality based. Boost it that way.
Pretty be like that.
Let's see if this works out any bit better. Let's try this again. If we get past Dragonslayer armor with better ease this time, then we will push to the Twin Princes. Hopefully with some better luck, at least. Because this is the stomp. It's a stance, yeah. Okay. Again, I apologize if you guys wanted me to fight against Dragonslayer armor with miracles and secret chimes, but this is one fight I think I probably should have been better off taking to either the... This, I think, would have been a better one to use against the Ancient Dragon. Let me get my stuff back, please. Thank you. Alright. Now to fight you properly. Stacking the phase. Ouch. It's still a nasty sweep. That is a blaze weapon, that's correctly. Yep. Need to get away from the edge. Okay. Appropriate ears is gonna get loud. Ouch. Alright. Because I only used the Greatsword for the boss fight, I'm gonna re-roll it one last time. Again, I know that's a whole lot of spinning, but I used the Chimes to get up to the Dragonslayer armor, and I used the Greatsword to fight against him, so I feel it's only fair that this is karma, isn't it? This is very much karma. Well, I could get the Black Bow of Ferris if I get all the way up there. That could work. Alright, let me at least get this. And I will need to invest in a whole lot of arrows. I think I'll probably need to invest in poison.
Ah,
Get some dark arrows. Get a lot of dark arrows. Let me get dark arrows, let me also get poison arrows. And I can pick between the two.
Ashen One.
And then let me use that to upgrade as well. I've already run out of Titanite shards. I've done so many weapons.
Ah, Ashen One.
Did what?
Yep, I can infuse the bow, which again makes sense.
Grenade like that.
Does Square have anything I can...
Oh, hand in one.
He's got a short bow. Large arrows. They do more physical attack. Let me also buy some of those.
Goodbye.
So I've got some. Alright. Dark arrows are in front, poison arrows on the back. Alright. Let me make an investment.
Well, very then take.
Push dexterity.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Can I use a couple of these just to get one more level? Just so I can get this even. Is it gonna be enough?
Well, very then take.
Thank you.
Farewell, Ashen
Rest go
One.
back into the box. Again, the game plan is if I get past Lothric Castle today and I finish up the final piece of the main game, I'm going to dump all of my soul items into my current setup to maximize every stat that I've got, and then I will push on to the DLC with whatever weapon I get rolled. But here's hoping I can get there. And if anything, I'll pick up the Black Bow of Faris from the guy up top. I can use that. I also get the Gothard Twin Swords, I think, here. Yeah. Gothard. Yeah. I don't know how you say that. Remember the Crystal Sage? Man made a return. That does a pretty decent amount of damage. It's gonna be just getting a shot where he sits still. So those are the dark arrows. I'm on my first. The second are the poison. Alright, well the dark arrows are doing pretty good damage, but these are also relatively weak enemies. Wait for power on a longbow. It's not that bad. Poison arrows actually do more damage. Let me swap and put the large arrows on and see what that gives me. It's good raw damage. Ow. Nice. Right, I forgot that these guys can push me to wax. And then I'll basically be like real if it's real difficult to roll anywhere. This is a problem. It's just they want to move around so much. There we go. This will at least open up the main level. Need to get rid of that sage. I should just take care of you while I'm here. Otherwise it's just going to be a problem later on. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Oh. Right. That angle of this is not going to be appropriate. Here now. Oh. It's gonna be the slow part, I apologize. This is the boring part. Poison is doing more than just a straight damage roll. Which is kind of surprising. Hello. This is a very boring way to deal with this guy. But I am using the weapon I've been dealt. He's probably poison resistant because I'm hitting him with so many of these. Fortunately, when he teleports, it resets the bar. Oh, it actually procced. Just took a while for the meter to fill. There we go. Man, that took a while. I think I'll put on the dark arrows instead of the poison. Not that way. I'm not gonna do that actually. Or not go that way at least. Alright. This will open the shortcut. She is going to stay right here, then it seems. Did I count those 2 deaths from before? I don't think I did. From the Dragonslayer. Because I was at 20 before I got to the... That was after the fight with Nameless King. Because I was 60 when I started, and then... Yeah, I should be the 2 deaths from there. Alright. I know you want attention, but I'm in the middle of something. I'm also running from all these gargoyles. Excuse me, sir. Ow. Thank you. Want you. Yep, want your bow. The other one aggroed. Oh, here they come. Now all 3 of them. Now. Get the poison proc. So at least get the shortcut opened up. Let me put the dark arrows back on. I'd be better off doing the raw dark damage than anything else. Nice. He's not gonna fall down, is he? Okay. He's waiting for me at the top, isn't he? Oh, he's right there. Damage is good. Alright, can we not stand in the doorway? Yeah, dark is good. I'm gonna poison. I can also use his dual blade if I get the power roll. It is a pin cushion right now. There we go. Puncture wound. I think I want the black bow first because I think we can do a multi-shot. Which would be great for fighting against a single enemy. Man is a pin cushion. Oh, I don't get the black bow of fire, so I just get the Onigiri Ubarachi. Still a great weapon, mind you. He's just full of holes. That sounded... I regret saying that. Crystal staff. Back up here and grab the one last remaining Estus shard. That I can maximize all my Estus flasks before I take a few swings. Hopefully I only have to do this in one go. That is the hope, but again, it's a longbow versus the Lothric Princes, which could go a number of ways. Alright, let me take the instance now to go all the way through here. Get to the other side, open up that platform area. Ow. Starting to think using the soul of Aldrich for that bow might have been the better choice. Think about it. I mean, if I wanted to, I could go out and get that black bow of Faris and go get that as well. Certainly a choice. Long way back for this bonfire. Wish they had a checkpoint one between. would be nice. But it also makes sense, I think. Which of these track? Let's see how this goes. It's gonna take one attempt or several. I think the only thing that concerns me is that Lorian's attack patterns are sporadic and very fast. The time it takes to load the bow up is less than fortuitous. Actually, now I'm curious. While we're waiting for this to pop back up. Let me actually see. Oh. Okay. I just ran right past it. Hang on, let me go back. I don't do this very often. I actually want to go back and pick up the weapon in question. Because it's in a really easy place. I just ran past it before. Because again, I think last time we were at the area where we can pick it up is I was running completely for something else. So there's going to be you. Did I pick it up from? One of these guys drops it. I don't remember if it's this guy or... Can you put down the bow, please? Or put down the shield. I'm the one holding the bow. Oh, puncture works with the shield. Or it's through the shield, rather. Swordgrass. Hang on. Unless that one of them doesn't have. Hold on. Now I actually have to look this again. Sorry guys, I know this is probably not what you wanted to watch at the end of this stream. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Hold on. Right idea, but wrong enemy. What I need to do is hit something. This. No, not that. It is... That's a crab. Sorry. I'm lost of where I'm supposed to find this guy. There's a bunch of them hiding. Oh, these guys. Yeah, this is very much a cheap way of doing this. But one of you has it. Well, I guess I did say I was kind of invested in getting this kind of a bow. So, okay. I was aiming at the wrong people. Yeah, the triple shot. That could be really useful for this area. I guess for this challenge. Let me upgrade this. Let me take a swing. I don't want to be up too late, because I do want to try to get this up as quickly as I can. But if I can win against the brothers.
Be like that.
This back. I'll put these back in storage. This away, these away, this away. Alright. Let me maximize, get my one last Estus Flask. And I will also get my plus 10
like that.
Nibble and Shard bonuses. If fighting the princess takes one attempt, I will be very, very happy. Alright, let's see. I don't think I've ever attempted the Twin Princes fight with a bow. To be fair, there's a lot of fights during this run that I've never done or even attempted before. This is the wrong direction. Well, I'll pick up more slabs. Alright, now go back. I think what I'll do is I'll give a few attempts. If we get to probably 9 in the timeline, I will probably just put a pause and come back to them next time we meet. Which again, like I said, beating these guys is the last step we have before we go up against the DLC, which could take us significantly longer depending on the weapons we get. So, here we go. gonna sit here for support.
Oh dear. Another dogged contender. Welcome, unkindled one, purloiner of cinders. Mind you, the mantle of Lord interests me none. The fire-linking curse, the legacy of lords, let it all fade into nothing. You've done quite enough. Now have your rest.
Still love the look of that Greatsword. So good. Poison darts back, poison arrows back on. Can be done, it's just certainly a bit much slower pace than normal. Alright, first phase. Now we get to the harder mix, I think.
Oh, dear brother. I'm on my way. My brother. Unyielding sword of Lothric's prince. Rise if you would. For that is our curse.
It's really being very creepy about it. Can I aim only the younger prince? With the bow, I don't know if I can do that. I might have to knock Lorien down again. chip damage against him. This is gonna be a dumb idea. Nope. Well, this is like quickly swap to poison arrows on the fly. No.
Marks are brave, but you may rest here too, if you like.
Alright, the dark arrow is probably not going to do much, so I'm going to swap back to poison. I'll give it one more go tonight, and if I don't do well, then I will revisit this when we get back next time. It certainly can be done. That is truthful, or that is the truth of this circumstance at least. But I just don't think I have nearly enough time tonight to finish it. Who knows? We get very lucky and it's only take 2 attempts. Because if I get the poison off on both of them, it can chip away at Lothric's health while Lorien is in his attacking mode. There are a number of ways this fight could go. Let's try this again. Probably immune to poison, or just the bar is significantly higher. I should not be staying so close to him. Alright, I asked for that one. Alright. Stand pretty often at least. I may just have to get extremely slow in comparison to what I normally do. I am able to slowly chip away at Lothric's health bar while he's still building on Lorien. Okay, it can be done. It can. I don't think I have the time for it. I'll give one more attempt. One more. I think I'll go back and do the Dark Arrows. If anything, I'll have a full stack just in case. And I have a third set in case I run out. I can do it. Let me... Hold on, let me swap this. Because I don't need it now. Just in case. One more attempt. If I don't get it tonight, then starting next stream, I'll keep at it. I know I can do it. I think I'm just getting greedy at the first phase. That's what's costing me a lot of the Estus. I'm burning through a lot of my Estus by the first phase. I keep forgetting this. Let me reset it. Should have just gone to one of the grind archives. Well, but even then I would have had to go the long way around and go through the horde of enemies on the way up. One more try. Good things always come in threes. Which I didn't count the previous 2 deaths. need to figure out what works best with him. Maybe make some bleed arrows or something. I think for now we'll call it, and I will make a return next time with a plan, with an idea for something. I think what we have now is good. I'm just getting greedy and I'm getting impatient, so I think we'll just call it here for the night, and we will regroup next time. I'll do some research. I'll look into this. I do want to try to fight him with a longbow. It can be done. I think we just got walled with our Dragonslayer armor encounter with Sacred Chimes, unfortunately. So, but all that being considered, I hope you guys did enjoy this part of the run. We are very close to the end of the game. At this point, we just gotta finish up with the Lothric pair here at the castle. We'll go into the DLC, and what we roll with those will depending on if this takes 2 parts, 3 parts, or a lot longer. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, you know this works. If you like, comment, subscribe, follow all that fun jazz, lets me know you guys are enjoying it. And remember, the Void is always willing to listen to those who want to be heard. And I'm willing to listen. I want to hear you out. Have a great night, guys. I love you. See you in the next one.